Pydantic AI's output validator mechanism lets you intercept the agent's final output during a streamed run, apply custom validation logic, and trigger a retry when that logic fails, all through the @agent, output validator decorator, and the ModelRetry exception. The pattern hinges on inspecting run context partial output to distinguish between intermediate streamed fragments and the complete result, enabling a length check that gatekeeps short responses. You are about to see an agent initialized with agent OpenAI, GPT-5, a validator that raises ModelRetry when len output 50, and a streamed run that yields text incrementally via result stream text. From Pydantic AI import agent, ModelRetry run context. Agent equals agent OpenAI, GPT-5, @agent, output validator. Def validate output dex, run context output, SDR. If CTX, partial output. Return output. If len output 50. Raise ModelRetry output is too short. Return output. Async def main. Async with agent. Run streamwrite a long story about a cat as result. Async for message in result stream text. Print message. Once upon a time, there was. Once upon a time, there was a curious cat. Once upon a time, there was a curious cat named Whiskers who. Once upon a time, there was a curious cat named Whiskers who loved to explore. Once upon a time, there was a curious cat named Whiskers who loved to explore the world around. Once upon a time, there was a curious cat named Whiskers who loved to explore the world around him. Streaming text via runstream with a hook that validates output length and triggers a retry if under 50 chars. The @agent, output validator, fires on each partial chunk and the final result, but the guard clause checking, CTX, partial output skips the length check midstream since partials will always be short. When the complete output arrives and fails the length threshold, ModelRetry tells the model to regenerate. This pattern lets you enforce output quality without blocking on streaming side effects. The trade-off is the validator runs multiple times per stream, so the guard clause is essential to avoid false negatives. For production use, be aware that retry count defaults to 1 and each retry consumes API calls, so balance strictness against budget. Let's break it down line by line. From Pydantic AI import agent, ModelRetry run context. Imports agent, ModelRetry, and run context from the Pydantic AI package. Agent equals agent OpenAI, GPT-5, Instantiates a Pydantic AI agent configured to use the OpenAI GPT-5 model, binding it to the variable agent. @agent, output validator. Def validate output dex, run context output, SDR. Registers validate output as the agent's output validator. The function accepts a run context and an output string, returning a string. If CTX, partial output. Checks whether a streaming run context has a non-empty partial output flag, which indicates incomplete structured output is available midstream. Return output. Returns the value stored in output from the current function. If len output 50. Checks whether the length of output is less than 50 characters. Raise ModelRetry output is too short. Raises a ModelRetry exception with the message, output is too short. Return output. Returns the value stored in the variable named output to the caller. Async def main. Trivial function definition. Async with agent. Run stream write a long story about a cat as result. Starts a streaming run of the agent with the prompt, write a long story about a cat, yielding a result object within an async context manager. Async for message in result stream text. Iterates asynchronously over streamed text output from an agent run, yielding each message as it arrives. Print message. Outputs the value of message to the console. The agent output validator fires on every partial chunk and the final result during a streamed run. CTX. Partial output is what lets you skip the length check midstream, because partials will always be short and would trigger false negatives. Once the complete output arrives and falls under 50 characters, ModelRetry tells the model to regenerate. The trade-off is the validator runs multiple times per stream, so the guard clause isn't optional, it's what keeps the pattern from rejecting valid intermediate chunks. Each retry costs an API call, retry count defaults to 1, so strictness needs to be balanced against budget. The result is output quality enforcement without blocking the stream.
The validator that buries. Whiskers mid-sentence feeds. CTX. Partial output. His half-uttered ghost alone.